In the world of psychology, we often talk about the graveyard of hobbies. It's that quiet guilt you feel when you look at a half-finished project, or a skill you started with so much passion, only to let it wither away. Society has a word for people like us. They call us dilettantes, or flaky. They warn us that being a jack of all trades means we will be a master of none. But what if your problem isn't a lack of grit? What if your problem is that you have too many paths that feel like a part of you? You aren't afraid of the work, you are paralyzed by the choice. Today, we are going to dismantle that anxiety. We're going to look at the geometry of a successful career and offer a path for those who were never meant to be just one thing. For the last century, we were told to be I-shaped, specialists who go a mile deep in one narrow field. This worked because the world was a kind learning environment, like a chessboard where the rules are fixed and repetition is rewarded. But the world we live in today is a wicked environment. The rules are constantly shifting, feedback is delayed, and the patterns are not obvious. In a wicked world, the hyper-specialist often develops dangerous blind spots. The opposite of the specialist is the dash-shaped person, someone who is a mile wide but only an inch deep. This lack of depth creates massive anxiety because you feel like you have no solid ground to stand on. But there is a third shape, the one designed for the modern world, the M-shaped professional. The M-shaped professional, or the polymath, doesn't choose between depth and variety. They choose both. Imagine one leg of your M is data science. That's your stability, the one that pays the bills. Your second leg is storytelling or design. And your horizontal bar is your interest in psychology and history. Suddenly, you aren't just a distracted worker. You are the rare individual who can weave complex data into a narrative that humans can actually feel. This is your superpower, and it's driven by a mechanism called far transfer. A specialist uses near transfer, applying a skill to a similar problem. But a polymath sees the underlying structure in one field and applies it to a completely different one. You start seeing the music of the world, not just the notes. How do you build this life without burning out? It requires two specific strategies. Serial mastery. You cannot build all pillars at once. You must pick one and commit to it for a season, roughly 6 to 18 months. You aren't choosing for life. You are just choosing for now. Mastery is reached when you hit 80% fluency, where you can solve problems without an instruction manual. The Zettelkasten system. Your brain is a high-output idea factory, but your working memory is a small workbench. You need an external anchor for your curiosity. Follow the example of sociologist Niklas Luhmann, who used a Zettelkasten to link individual ideas together. Use tools like Notion or Obsidian to capture your fleeting obsessions. 3 years from now, those dots will connect in a way you can't yet imagine. You are not a dabbler who lacks grit. You are a scanner, a bridge builder between worlds of knowledge. This path won't always be easy, but having a map for your mind brings a sense of calm. Pick your first pillar, build your greenhouse, and stop apologizing for your curiosity. To help you design your M-shaped career, I've created a free polymath field guide. You can find the link in the description. You were never meant to master just one thing. You were meant to see how everything connects. I'll see you in the next one.